Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises and honor and glory
To
to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Ba'ashem
Ba'ashem
Kakadash.
Kakadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles, our great millstone and well, and citation to the brothers around the Atazah, preaching its within truth and sincerity. This doctrine of the Ba'ashem Yahushai given to us as this heritage to the four corners of the Atazah, and the Aquats another husband, listening and learning in sobriety. Right, teaching the kids also to practice a righteous act at a young age. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Right, this is Brother Yardan from James Vibration Camp alongside.
Brother Assad.
Right, let's come with a short video we edifying to the elect, right? Concerning, well, let's go in this video. The name of this video here will be continually be with the brothers, right? The brotherhood, continually be with a godly man, right? I feel I will name it the benefits of being around a godly man, right? Who in the truth, who continually pushing that doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? We'll start off with the first precept here. This is book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 37 and start of verse 12. It says, but be continually with a godly man whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of Yahweh power, right? Because why? If you continue doing what being with that brother, he will be doing what you're doing, right? Not going contrary to what you're doing, like these tutors of them, because these tutors have nothing good for in the world, right? When I check it out, all these tutors studying is vanity, right? And all they're studying to do is things that is contrary to the Lord. Continuing, keep the commandments of Yahweh, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. Right. So if I go back to the precept, we'll say that if that's roughly paraphrasing, if a brother fall in a ditch, how we gonna get help? If you continually go with your brother and you seem to go off in certain way, you got your brother ready to help you. If it's that tutor now, he can help you to do the wrong thing. Because these tutors and these heathens, them have nothing good to tell you. When you really check it out, what have good for you? Because them in the world, they will be thinking carnal, they will be thinking worldly. So them how they gonna help you if you're going off, and them continually going off, and them love that wickedness, they love it. Because when they check it out, to do the wrong thing, it's easy for these tutors and them. Is when you have brother now, when a brother see you doing the wrong thing, or even if that brother and all doing the wrong thing, he can be beating the conscience. But these tutors them, like, they have no conscience, they don't have the spirit, the Rikakadash with them, right, to be telling them, hey, that the wrong thing is doing.
The scripture said to let's say, be continually with a godly man whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind. So as meaning you being a spiritual man, your mindset would be focused upon the things above. So same way likewise, because the scriptures say we ought to be of one, we ought to keep our eyes single. And the same way, just as you keeping your eyes single, your brother within the truth would keep his eyes single. So if you fall short, he gonna be there to pull it up. If something go on with you, he gonna be there to help you out and pull you out, because he know that two all on the same path unto righteousness, right? And he would also remember the scriptures that say, well, don't forget the brotherhood, always be don't forsake the assembly, all these things. It go on to say verse 13, and let the counsel of thine own heart stand, for there is no man more faithful unto thee than it. Yeah. So having a godly man around here in this time here is a plus. Because look, for instance, when shit hit the fan, a Jake, a tutor, gonna just look to what? Do beyond that survival mode. They're gonna forget about They not even gonna regard the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yeshua, eating unclean. They're gonna steal, they're gonna loot, they're gonna kill, because that's their mindset. But the man of the Lord, he gonna be there with you and praying unto Yahweh Hashem Yeshua, and we together they're gonna be waiting on Yahweh Hashem Yeshua to provide. Not depending upon their own mind and to go contrary against the Lord.
Just a testimonial too in the 80s, right? That was when I know coming to that was very shaky, right? And that is show it on point where you're seeing go back to peace scandals, be seeing too how the closest thing to a man is belly, right? You remember with the old time saying go, right? A hungry man is an angry man. So when as the brother was saying this now, when shit hit the fan and things get real, right, and famine at the word come, and natural famine come also. What is heathens gonna do? Them eating anything, them jakes and them eating anything. Because look also in a time in the market we asking a jake, hey, we're gonna go when things get real, way. They gonna meet anything, he say, I'm gonna eat you too. That is true, and I think it was a Northern Kingdom, right? Them don't care when that time coming, right? And just going back to in the 80s, right? When I know coming the truth, right? And it was we went and me and Howard we were back to the jail, right? We working in the city night and we come back and working in the day also, right? And with that time we was working thin and blade was holding, right? So boom, so now what going on is like the food done, the cheese. I think it's cheese bread and cheese was eaten, but the cheese done. I don't know them jigs them had a sausage there, so you don't know what going on with me. I started to think canal. And Howard was like, hey, you want to, right? We eating sausage, right? Like something wrong with you. And that is one end. That is surely the piece of going back into having continue being a godly man, because either brother gonna be pulling you up when you fall short.
And it could be a simple matter. Sometimes you might, as simple as breaking down scriptures. Sometimes it might slip your mind, or you get confused with that scripture and say the wrong thing. A brother did to pull it back up, pull up your socks and tell you, well, look, you make a mistake here. This breakdown here, that wrong, you have to correct that. Because all like supervision to the scriptures talk about admonishment. You have to admonish your brother. All these things here is a part of the gospel, a part of the ministry. Part of that walk unto Yahweh Hashem Yeshua. Right? Yeah. I'm going to get another precept here in the book it's the book of Psalms. One to the tree. Right. Psalms 133 and 1, it say, a song of decrees of David. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. And it is important here when you look at the word unity as meaning you together under that same vibration, under that same sound mind. Because Amos 3 and 3 say, could two walk together unless they agree? Let me just get that quick. Amos 3 and 3 it say, can two walk together except they be agreed? And that is it. Because the brotherhood gonna be all that is a part of the body of the Hamashiach is under one mind. Right? Although it's a whole body, thousands of brothers, but all being with the mind focused upon one thing, which is the kingdom of heaven. Right? Psalms 133, I'll read it back and 1. It say, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garments.
Because when brothers, right, together, and we pushing that one mind, it gonna be like we have each other's back, right? As the video how do the area and on to are you having your brothers back? Right, you have to be your brother's keeper in this time, man. Right, so when you rolling, because you check it out like this. Right, when you rolling now, you have to be rolling 100 feature that we can be rolling 50 feature that or 60 feature that. You have to be rolling 100 feature that, so when the time of affliction come, it can be same way likewise. Like nothing new under the sun. Like we have to pushing for that same doctrine. Right, and through we pushing for that same doctrine, we can build up a form, like, see a sense of understanding, because as you were saying that's now we pushing forward for that one goal, right? And you have to remember this. If two we had the same goal, two we pushing the same mindset, right? Two we be doing the same thing. We be going contrary to another.
Galatians, no?
6 and 1. Can look at Galatians chapter 6 and verse 1. It says, brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault which he is like ye which are spiritual, restore such an one slacker in the spirit of meekness. Right, they're going back into keeping it by the back way. So that because if we push in that same mindset, I will keep it back, because why? It's 100 pumping for you. And when the time of affliction come, it as what the big brother was saying when he was up in the when you had the feast now, boy.
Well,
right?
We would die for
yeah,
brother.
Yeah, can keep it. If you are pumping on 100 far, brother, you think it be none free to die for, brother, because you don't know the righteous thing, as the precept say.
It ain't better than one that lay down his life for his friend.
Can. And hey, that can be up your bash me shy and watch you and smile by and say, hey boy, that's already.
Can. And that way how he did.
Can.
You know, he lay his life for the sheep, you know, because mercy is for the elect.
Can.
Lay his life for, you know, the children of Israel, mainly the elect.
Can, and that is love, boy.
Can I'll read by that. It's a brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault. So you know our brother might as we explained earlier on, our brother might be going off.
Can.
You know, I'll just point out some things, you know, except whether he excessively drinking or he dealing with a brother, you know, wrongfully, or he could, you know, be going off on a certain breakdown, or whatsoever the fault may be. Ye which are spiritual, so you being amongst the brotherhood, you know, men in the spirit, they would pull it up on that, because the scriptures say secret love is better than sacrifice, and that is the secret love is the open rebuke is better than secret love. So like, right, open rebuke is better than secret love, you know, because your brother pulling you up and because he love you. Your brother showing you that love because he don't want to see you fall and get miscarry away and go back into the world. So that's why when you see brothers coming down on you, hey, do your videos, hey, pull up your socks, you know, make sure you're in the spirit. It's because your brother love you, your brother check for you. It say, restore such as one in the spirit of meekness. Because yes, and that is an important of meekness, and that will admonishment even going into rebuking gently. You know, you come to your brother and yeah, you come to your brother and you show him you see in a gentle manner. It's a considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Right? Because hey, that is how it is, you know, you can see your brother going down that ditch and you try to pull him up. Because eventually, hey, them spirit self gonna come back up on you because you leave your brother down in that ditch.
Just to add, right? When the precepts say considering thyself also, right? Because remember this, we know what the world have for you, and we know that what's gonna happen if you fall back into the world. Because remember, we going back into that spiritual mindset, going back into knowing what is to come, going back into knowing because every action have a reaction, right? And the action, our brother going back into the world, the precept, we all know the precepts say that the most, I think it's seven more spirits gonna be added onto you, right? And we know that is destruction coming to anybody who leave the truth, anybody who leave this wonderful light to go back into the darkness is death, mourning, and destruction going on beyond that in a person's head. And with that, for you to love our brother, you I want to see that brother in that position. So you go try your best to say, I keep that brother up and to continue learning why the right thing, being spiritual when dealing with that brother. Because hey, that is love, boy. We always try come and do for we. You always try come and die for we and let me know, hey, repent and turn back to Yahweh, turn back to the Father, boy.
And he also say, this is how we know that ye are my disciples, that ye love one another. What else you had to bring me? It said, bear you one another's burden, and so fulfill the law of Mashiach, because we know the second commandment is love your brother as thyself. You know, the second major commandment, as the Lord say, right? Loving your brother as you love yourself. So we have to carry each other's burden. Right? That's correct, right? You sure? Ecclesiasticus or Ecclesiastes? Alright, the book of Ecclesiastes 4:9. It said two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. Yeah, because when two all on a journey, it's easy to help each other. You know, it's easy to overcome a hurdle than when one man, you know, fighting the battle alone. Right? When one man fighting the battle alone, it's much harder because he had to rebuke himself, he had to examine his own self on a regular basis. But when you have a brother there in the spirit, you know, two all sharpening each other, and you could bring that same precept. You know how iron sharpened iron. That is
Verse 27. Verse 27.
Alright. It's a Proverbs 27:17. It's a iron sharpened iron, so a man sharpened the countenance of his friend. Yes. And that is the importance. Because through this word we sharpen each other's mind. We make each other mind, you know, be fed spiritually. And that is how important it is to do your videos. Because a brother might be down in his spirit. He know where he can get an answer from. He might be confused in his mind, and just a brother to have a little small video upon, you know, lift up your countenance because the Lord cometh nigh or something. So that little video right there boosts you up in his spirit, and he forget about what he was worrying about. You know, that gave me answer. Sometimes you might be looking for an answer. You might be going through some kind of problem, and a brother's video, by you watching a brother's video, that actually give you an answer through the spirit. Because how the Lord does deal with us is through brothers. Through brothers, the Lord does deal with us. You know, that is how the Lord majority of the time gives us an answer. Because we all are the men of the Lord, the brotherhood, they are all prophets. So sometimes you might be seeking an answer from the Lord, and a brother just had a dream just so, and say, well, hey, XYZ, and it make your answer plain unto you. A brother just got a dream just so, and so, well, hey, I ought to give you this, I ought to tell you this. And that is how the Lord working, you know, in mysterious ways. And that is the importance of being with a godly man. Because the scriptures say in 2 Corinthians 6 and 14, right? It says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? because the two of them do agree. The flesh and the spirit wars against each other, as it say. I think is in the book of Ephesians or Romans. Get that scripture,
The flesh was against
against the spirit, and we know to be carnal is death, and also is enmity against Yahweh Shemir Shai. Is the spirit what pleases Yahweh Shemir Shai, not the flesh. So it is important to be amongst the brotherhood, right? Iron sharpening iron, than being around the unrighteous, the unbelievers, because we know, as it's in 2 Ezra 15:4, the unfaithful gonna die in the unfaithfulness. They don't have no part to being saved, because they have no faith in this, they have no belief in this. Let's say, what communion had light with darkness. Light is contrary to darkness. The both of them don't intertwine, the both of them don't mix. Right?
Galatians 5:16.
Let's say, what concord hath Mashiach with Belial, or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? Yeah.
Right? So basically, right, we have to have less to do with these 2/3 and these heathens in the world, and mostly be with our brother.
Friend, because them have nothing to offer you. Besides talk about some woman, some carnal thing, these Jake's mindset totally on a different settings. And we are above them. They are a lower rank to us, because we overcome the things are this flesh, as meaning in a form of the level that they on. They mind just please the woman, please the flesh, because it's we were in the past time taken by these former lusts, but now through Yahweh Hashem, the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem, the Lord pull you out of that darkness and give you something to work towards, a prize to march forward to. Right? The Galatians 5:16.
Galatians 5:16, it said, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." Right, so if we continue being spiritual, always being spiritual, continue watching brothers videos, right, continue reading, you understand, doing a little fasting, because when you're fasting and all too, they're going to make you be even more spiritual, obeying God's statutes and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You see, for the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, right? That's why it has to have a balance, right? It has to have a balance. You'll be continue being spiritual instead of being carnal. Because when you're being carnal, you can start to go off. You can be certain things in the world, right? Your flesh itself, you can be eating up in yourself, right? And these are contrary the one to another, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would, right? So that is why when you're being more worldly, when you're studying things that the world too much, you're gonna be like this. You're studying your bills. You're studying where we gonna eat tomorrow, right? You're studying this person come around here, and you might be thinking, you might start to think I'll come and say, but if this man pay my me, I them $2-3 in here. You understand? When you start to think, we're gonna go on. You're gonna be thinking more spiritual. You're gonna be thinking like this. You're gonna be no difference between these two niggas in the world, because them doing the same thing. That is why, as I was saying just now, because they don't that show the spirit is don't I don't know was meeting it in my brain. Hey, I'll be more into fasting, watching we eating also, because even as the saying go, we eat is how we always live. So if we continue studying all these meat and milk and all these other things, we're gonna be going on. You're gonna be studying simple as how the Howard was talking about this. He was saying, right. He was saying we eating simple as these meat, and they're studying meat and meat and meat and meat and meat, and they're studying to drink all these freaking, because they don't know, as the scriptures say, right? These food that we eating is defiled. We gonna eat eating defiled bread. So if we try to eat more natural, it gonna be affecting we our life also. Right? So that's why we have to be more in that spiritual mindset. Going back into, you could have a fruit fast, right? Going back into, you could make I'll fruit drink or something. Continue go try reading, right? Because simple as me, when I eat all these freaking snacks, all these buttons coming up on their face, right? You got me wanting always sleeping so much. Why you sleeping so much? By you have 24 hours in a day, right? And you can be me and all, I tell myself, we be up, you sleep in this day, and they come home and you sleep also. That makes no sense. Check your diet, right? Because you have 24 hours and we do with it. If you're taking it and you spend it on your about shimmy or shy. You can. I was 18 and say, but if he be led of the Spirit, he are not under the US snack. I will write it another. Yeah.
Right, that's it. And these are contrary to one another, so that he cannot do the things that he would. Right? Because once you're watching, you know, what you examine yourself, you know, you keep more in the spirit. You know, and you ward off the flesh, you set that balance, you know. Because hey, we not saying hey it's all about the righteousness and this and that, because scripture talk about being over righteous, but there's a balance you have to set it. Always make sure you know the spiritual is above the carnal, you know. The Proverbs, it was Proverbs 13:20. It say, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools will be destroyed. So you being amongst the wise, you ultimately going to become wise, because the only counsel you actually hearing over and over in your head is wisdom. And what you are what you learn. So if I only being taught wisdom, keeping the law, statutes and commandments, that is what I would be. That would be a part of me. So that's why the scripture did say concerning the child, you had to you know, teach the child, right? You have to teach your child while they're young, and don't spare them from the rod, you know, grow them up according to the law while in the youth, right? Let's say I'll read it back. He that walketh with the wise men shall be wise, but the companions of fools shall be destroyed. Because we know being in this ministry ain't for no fools, because a fool is rejecting wisdom and knowledge, right? And also it's a wisdom and knowledge gonna be the stability at times. So these things here is very important. Yeah, anything else to go on?
You know, last we said Proverbs 1 and 5.
Proverbs 1 and 5. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. So you see the difference between a wise man and a fool, gonna reject it, but the wise gonna take heed. And this is the spirit upon the elect, you know, searching for wisdom, you know, to increase the wisdom, knowledge and understanding, right? To understand the proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. And with that, hope this small video was edifying. Again, double honors unto the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. All praises belong unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Until the next one, say Shalom.
Shalom.